Welcome to BitBoy Crypto. The best way is if you became a millionaire, would you keep working? I want to tell you guys something. What's going on right now is California's trying to figure out about crypto. My name is Ben. Where's Balls? Welcome to BitBoy Crypto, the People's Channel, home of the BitSquad, the largest and greatest crypto community in all the interwebs. Never has that been any more clear. No channel works harder all the time to keep you in the know about crypto, and what a weekend it has been. My name is Ben. We come to you live every single day, exactly 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If it is after 11:30 on your clock, that is because your internet service provider has you 5 minutes late. It's not because I'm late. You guys know we're always on time here. It is Monday, November the 14th. 1 year and 2 days from the all-time high of Bitcoin. How far we have fallen. How the mighty have tumbled. It is Monday, November 14th. Like I said, 11:35 right now, according to your clock, not mine. We're going to be bringing Frank on here in a little bit. We're going to be talking about charts, have a new exchange partner we're going to be working with, which is good because a lot of exchanges have gone down over the weekend. A lot of people asking about CRO. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. Look, guys, I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with Crypto.com other than it is a decentralized exchange, which doesn't mean it's bad, but they haven't had a good track record as of late. So we'll be talking more about that as well. Also, guys, today, I think at 2 o'clock, you guys know what they call me, right? You guys know what they call me? Do y'all know what they call me? They call me the Alex Jones of crypto. That's what they call me. Yeah. So we'll be going on the Alex Jones of Alex Jones show today, later on InfoWars at 2 o'clock. So if you guys want to go check us out on InfoWars, you can find us there. I was actually on Alex Jones show last year. I think in January or February. People said he really liked me because he actually let me talk. So we'll see. Obviously, there's a lot of rabbit holes going very, very deep in this situation. So going to try not to go so far down that I get myself killed. So we are trying not to play them bagpipes. You know what I mean? Mr. Techno Goody, truth is stranger than fiction lately. Clickbait titles have nothing to do, nothing on what's really happening. I know, guys. This has been the craziest week. You don't want to talk about insane. The last few weeks, TJ and I were talking about this weeks ago before this even happened, about how crazy this has gotten, all this information that we've been getting, and how it's played out. I mean, I was just on Yahoo Finance, and they showed a tweet from October 29th where I said, if you don't get your money off FTX, you're low IQ. So yeah. I'm sorry. We tried to tell everybody. But people wouldn't listen. And some people were pointing out, like, well, you didn't say it was definitely going to go and solve. Well, number one, when you've got someone that's got that backwards of philosophy when it comes to crypto, run far. But the fact is, slowly but surely, what people started realizing is we had the inside info. And because of that, people started sending us more. So we were getting more and more and more info. CZ jumped the gun. That's what happened. We were not expecting it to go insolvent this week. We were expecting it to go insolvent. We were trying to get people off in a kind of manner to where it didn't collapse everything. That was our plan. If you didn't understand what our plan here, what we've been working on for weeks, is trying to tell this story in a way that did not burn crypto to the ground. And CZ front ran it. And look, I don't blame CZ. I'm not saying it was bad for what he did, but he pretty much flipped the switch overnight. What people don't understand is, yes, CZ expedited the process, but this was going to happen anyways, and this is what we've been trying to warn people about and tell people about as well. So did I see Elon's like on Twitter? No. What did he like? Did he like one of my... So somebody told me he was looking for me. I'm just telling you what somebody told me. I don't know if it was true or not. Somebody says you hyped FTX coin months ago. So these are the type of low IQ comments in the chat that I love to address, and I will continue to address stupid people like this. Here is why. Did you know, I know this is crazy, right? This is insane. What I'm about to tell you, you want to talk about Alex Jones? Talk about frogs? Listen to this. Did you know that in 2022, people's brains are now to the point where they can take in new information and change what they think? That's insane.
Insane. That's pretty good, actually.
That was good, wasn't it? Yeah. I mean, it's true, though, right? Like, people like this, idiots in the chat, they have no context. They are so tone deaf to reality. I see this all the time from people on Twitter. They're so tone deaf, they can't see what's right in front of them.
Right.
Guys, yes, we put FTT as one of our top tokens of the year for 2022. You want to know why? because they had purchased Ledger X, which was a derivatives platform, and it was already said that they were likely going to have leverage trading in America this year. Obviously, that did not happen. But do you think when we said that we realized all of the stuff that we know now?
No, that's what I was going to say. Like, obviously,
idiots.
We picked it because they were positioning themselves to be a dominant U.S. exchange. They were favorable with regulators, and like you said, they had a derivatives platform that, for all intents and purposes, looked like it was going to be approved for U.S. trading. So guess what? We started really looking into it, and the more we dug into it, the more questions we had than answers, and then we pulled it out. Like, I don't get that at all. Which months ago, by the way, months ago.
Yeah. So, anyways, the idea is that we got new information, we took it in, and we told you guys. See, here's what these idiots don't understand that come in the chat talking babble and nonsense. We told you over a month ago, Solana and FTT were dead to us, and to get out of those. Which, by the way, they were not down on the market compared to everything else at that time. If you listened to us and you did what we did in our portfolio, think about how much that would have tanked our portfolios if we didn't do that.
Yeah, completely.
Guys, we gave you the warnings. And people that come in, they want to say anything other than that, you're low IQ and you're stupid and I've got nothing for you. Please leave. What was that super chat? Mikhail Miller, people need to understand the meaning, not your keys, not your crypto. I left centralized exchanges after not being allowed to withdraw 1.7 million in SHIB, which is like a gazillion tokens, and had to wait until I was left with 800K Ledger X is where it's at. The Ledger Nano X is what he's talking about with cold storage there. We're going to do a cold storage tutorial this week, Nick. Do we have a Ledger laying around here we can do that with? Okay, good. So we're gonna be doing, yesterday on a Twitter Spaces, we committed to doing more cold storage. We're going to do a Trust Wallet tutorial as well to show you guys how to do that as well. So, all right, well, let's go ahead. People say I'm looking good. Guys, welcome to the channel. Somebody made a fat joke against me yesterday on Twitter. I don't know if you guys know, those fat jokes are very 2021. People who say that, they're behind the times. Those are the type of people that still actually are investing in FTT. Okay, all right, let's go. We got Twitter here, at BitBoy_crypto. Man, we're almost at 1 million. We just ticked up on, did you see us tick up on air?
No.
It literally just ticked up on air. 977,000 followers. We will be hitting 1 million before the end of the year now. This is absolutely exciting. We've also ticked up on YouTube, 1.45 million. This is the most we've ever had.
Yeah.
1.45 million, and we are on the way back up, guys. We are finally making our place again here in crypto. We never left. People told you all last year or earlier this year that we were a one-hit wonder. We came in, we made a lot of noise. No, guys, we are the ambassador for crypto. We are the people's channel. We will continue to be the champion for the people in this space. That's a guarantee. Meanwhile, you have these guys that came that haven't made videos in 4 months, and now they're making videos again. You have all these financial YouTubers that are, crypto wasn't popular, but now they got to recant all their BlockFi promotion, which I don't blame them for promoting BlockFi, by the way. It seemed like a reputable company. We didn't understand all the stuff about FTX. They come and they go. You want a place that's going to be here for you for crypto 24/7 nonstop? It's this channel right here. We're committed to that. We're not going anywhere. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you go ahead and do that.
Yeah, it's almost like the bottom is in for BitBoy Crypto.
Will Cybernaut said people still making fat jokes or holding FTT bags. I know, guys. Guys, I would beat up your dads. Y'all need to know that at this point. Okay. I might not have been able to last year. I thought I could, but now I can. So there you go. Okay. So at BitBoy_crypto, you guys check out this Dan Friedberg story. We've been talking a lot about this. Obviously, it has been a big, massive story. But you guys don't forget to follow us there. Oh, look at this. Frankie Candles.
Yeah.
#1. Is that official? You won?
Officially, yeah.
Frankie Candles, they won the Femex trading competition. 836% ROI. We are going to be doing another trading competition with BitGet. You guys can click the link below. We'll have a link for that. Now, BitGet actually published something over the weekend, which, remember, guys, third party. Don't put all your money on there. What was the way you described it, TJ?
It's for just not your bank account. Like, obviously, you need to, not your savings account for sure. You need a place to trade. Think of it like a checking account. You're moving stuff in and out. You're trying to grow it. When you hit a certain number, withdraw those funds to cold storage.
Exactly. If you're going to trade, there's just not a lot of great options out here. But ironically, almost all of these exchanges that we could put, they're not leverage trading sites. People want to blame Bybit. They want to blame Femex. They want to blame BitGet. But these are all still around, which is ironic compared to what the people in crypto would have you believe. All of these people that told you, don't trust any of these leverage trading sites. They were pushing FTX, BlockFi. Remember that, guys. So we like the BitGet people. They actually publish like proof of audit, proof of reserves.
Yeah, they're working on proof of reserves. I think everybody's working on the Merkle tree version of it that shows liabilities as well. So big fans of the people at BitGet. And part of this is, we don't like CZ's great, Binance is great. They've got tons of assets. That's awesome. But we still want competition in the market. We don't want two exchanges that run the entire
It's scary
market.
when you look at how many reserves Binance has to everybody else.
It is. It's overwhelming.
Crypto Bro sold my Solana. When you did, it saved me money. So thank you and thank myself for trusting you. Well, I appreciate that. Yeah. So, but we're gonna be doing a big trading competition with Frankie and on BitGet as well. So if you guys want to go ahead and sign up, very easy for Americans to sign up on BitGet.
We'll have a lot more information later in the week. I think it's 100 Bitcoin prize pool. So it's like if this is the time to start chipping away and earn that money back.
Exactly. So, but remember, there's always risk with trading. We'll go over all those disclosures, and yada yada yada. But very excited that Frankie won that trading competition. Yeah. We've got a trading suite coming for you guys, available very soon. It's going to be proprietary indicators, bots, and algorithms that no one else has. No one can copy these. They're not copyable. You're not going to find these anywhere. We got a very good, slick relationship from hedge funds for having this stuff that you guys aren't going to see.
I got a question. Ryan McLachlan, we were talking about this on Blockchain Basement last week. How do you feel about USDT stability-wise?
Well, it's been attacked a few times, and it has not unpegged. There's been some momentary dispegging. We'll have to get Decker. He's our resident
peg specialist,
expert on pegging. That's a long story. But the idea is that can it be attacked? Yes. We did see USDD start going down. SBF basically extorted Justin Sun for $1 billion trying to keep the peg on that. But ultimately, I would trust USDC more than anything else. Circle is behind it. We do know exactly what is going to happen. We told you for a while. Brian Armstrong also said he thinks is what's going to happen. USDC is going to become the digital dollar. So I think that is something that is going to happen. I would just trust USDC over USDT. USDT tanking could, in fact, be the thing that would send us to the nightmare scenario. I still don't think, regardless of how bad things are right now, I still don't think that we're veering off the 4-year cycle yet. But we are now in danger of another black swan occurring that could send us down. I mean, we'll look at the price of Bitcoin here in a second, but the ICP go up a little bit. Crypto Keeper says I can't outbench him. You do over 300? Maybe I can't yet. I'm going to 405. Y'all understand that. ICP family loves me. Thank you, ICP family. ICP or IC people. Glad to get the story out. Going to be doing an interview with your CEO later this week so they can tell their story on what happened, of course, it related to the FTX stuff. DYDX has been outperforming, or DEX is in the spotlight now. Yes, I mean, DEXs are something to pay attention to, trustless networks. We need to have a big movement towards those. All right, looking at the markets. Almost 22,000 coins, 525 exchanges, 829 billion in market cap, 83.7 billion in volume. Bitcoin dominance, about the same as it was last time. And so is Ethereum, 38.2 and 18.2%. 10 Paraguays will send you an ETH transaction. Let's see here. We got Bitcoin coming in at 16.4. I think, did it go under 16 last night?
It did, yeah.
Just barely, though?
15.9.
15.8. And what's the bottom, Frank, for this week? Okay, Frank's going to check on that as well. We got we got Ethereum at 1,234. Let's see, BNB at 275. I was on a Twitter Spaces yesterday, which a lot of people said there was a lot of unfair questions to me, considering all I've done in the last few weeks. People still want to be bringing up stuff from 3. No, I don't use fake weights. I don't use CrossFit weights either, real weights. Bringing stuff for 2 or 3 years ago that was on this channel, stuff that we were naive in at best. They don't want to talk about the real problems that are going on right now in this industry. And where I was on that space is listening to CZ on it a little bit earlier. He was playing, guys, BUSD is not a problem, right? FTX didn't have a stable coin that was the problem. The problem was the FTT token that was created as a flywheel, along with Serum and many other projects. SAMO was another one that they did, SAMO. The slush fund for FTX to pay lawyer fees out of, by the way. So a lot of people don't know that. The idea, when you create a token and give it value by wash trading, that's a problem. However, a stable coin, while they should be regulated, as long as they stay pegged, that's not a problem. And that's what CZ was actually saying. That was kind of cool. So I'll go back up a little bit with Super Chat. FTX is holding my 4K USD transfer from 10 days. You're not getting that back. I'm sorry. Yeah. I will not be fighting Crypto Crow, just so y'all know. Not fight. I don't want to hurt him. I don't want to hurt him. He's a nice guy. Yeah. He told me he's very worried about my safety. He did tell me that. A lot of people are really worried about my safety right now. And look, I've talked. I know there's a lot of people that actually think I'm opening up these rabbit holes that are very deep and very dark and they're very politically connected. Yes, that is true. We are doing that. However, we have the BitSquad behind us. We have an entire army. All I got to do is put out one thing, and they take it and run with it so far, they can't kill us all. And that's what you have to remember. They can't kill us all. And my voice is so big at this point that if something happened to me, obviously people would know what the deal is, right? So I don't think that's something I'm really having to worry about too much now. There are certain names that I will not say on this channel. So I know my limits, and I know when things really could get dangerous. But I appreciate a lot of you guys being concerned.
Well, I would say this too. It's not that, like you said, a lot of this stuff is
Did you
out
fix your
there.
sound, by the way?
Yeah, I fixed it. Clearly,
you were muted.
I was muted in case anybody didn't notice. The main thing we're doing is we're bringing light to these stories, right? Like, it's not like this is brand new information. Somebody out here, small people knew this information. They just didn't know what to do with it. So now we're getting it all out there. We're we're just shining a light in some pretty dark corners.
Well, we had Dave Mastriani, who's a guy that was in this NBC News article, explaining how they basically used a job leveraged against him to keep him from blowing the whistle on a gigantic scam that they ran with a safe token, smart cover, or a cover protocol safe token, right? Excuse me, I am not a Chad. My brother's name is Chad. Thank you. And Dave Mastriani has been trying to warn people about this for a year now.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? His account wasn't big enough, and everybody dismissed him. So there are people that have been telling these stories and trying to push it out. All we're doing is giving them a voice to be able to communicate what's already happened. So your view on audio versus theta. I like audio. Somebody deleted that
message. Yeah, around the blockchain. So strict.
Around the blockchain. Why'd you do that? I mean, those are good projects. Yeah. Audius versus theta. We like theta for video streaming, so I think it's going to be pretty good. But I will tell you guys this. Polygon, Matic, obviously a good platform in the space or good project. We're going to be a lot more careful about what we say when it comes to these different coins. Because if this has not shown us 100% that we don't really know what's going on in crypto, I don't know what does. So for a while, we're going to button up a little bit until we feel very comfortable with, what projects are involved in this FTX, which projects are not. I got questions yesterday about secret protocol, and I thought this was very interesting. SCRT, is a privacy coin on the Cosmos blockchain. On this Twitter space, I got asked about this. Why did you feel good about making videos to pump up secret? First of all, I don't even know if we ever did a full video on secret. Maybe we did. We never talked to the team. We were never paid by them. It wasn't a sponsored video. If we did a review on secret or we've talked about secret, it was simply because it's something we have looked into and we think might be okay, or something that we try to explain to people what this coin is.
It's interesting.
It is interesting, right? So secret then got on the spaces itself, which is totally ridiculous. People, I got to ask that question. So stupid. That's like saying, why do you pump up Bitcoin doing Bitcoin videos where you show the Bitcoin price? Shut the front door. Okay. But the idea is with secret, they got on the live stream. And when you listen to them explain from the project side, the lies and manipulation from the FTX team to get them involved in their scheme, we're going to have projects that knowingly and projects that unknowingly got wrapped up in the spider web. And trying to figure out which one is which, that's going to be the hard test. So what was that super chat? So many super chats today, guys. Appreciate that. Proof reserve backed by fiat, created out of thin air by banks to control the political game. Exactly. Yeah. Marketing is weak for DeFi. Agree with that. So, all right. View on Solana, it's going down.
Yeah.
What was that? Many super chats, guys. Tony D, my guy, thank you for all you do. Thank you for that. Fighting for the people. We will always fight for the people on this. Don't know anything about A0. Thank you for saving us from FTX. I love the fact that so many people have messaged me and said we saved their life savings. Yeah. And that means everything to me. As in crypto since 2017, project creator, made the mistake of not investing. Because of you guys, I hold a lot of XRP, ADA, HBAR, ETH. I mean, those seem to be good projects. So, all right. Let's look at the biggest gainers and losers of the week, actually. Day isn't going to be that significant. Trust Wallet up 100%. They actually messaged me, or they actually didn't message me. They said on Twitter, when I moved my coins off of CRO, they said, "Did you use Trust Wallet?" I did, in fact. I did actually use Trust Wallet. No communication with them. It's just the easiest thing for me to create a wallet to hold Cardano with is what I did. I have the Coinbase wallet, which I'm not going to advocate for the Coinbase wallet, but it is decentralized and you do have your private keys. But that's where I sent my ETH and my Bitcoin, and I opened up a Trust wallet and did that really easy.
This is just for you to notice. Don't read it.
I want to read it. Okay. Solana backwards is anal OS, anal operating system. So how ironic.
Food for thought.
Yeah, so it meant that they were very like OCD with this.
Right. Lots of amphetamines.
Because we heard that's what was going on in the Bahamas, obviously. After that, nothing is up. Look at this. 100% and then 4% for the week. Solana down 58%, CRO down 45%. A lot of people are blaming us for the CRO drop because I said I took my money off of CRO. No. In that tweet, I literally said, I don't think there's anything wrong with CRO, but I'm just trying to be safe and move my money off exchanges. That's the only exchange where I had money.
I would blame CZ too, because he keeps coming out and saying like, these are the things you should look for if you're worried about something. And one of them is their own token and their own, like that sort of stuff. So
yeah, but I mean, I think there's legitimacy to what he's saying.
There is legitimacy.
But I don't think CRO is wrapped up in all this, but here's where things got dicey.
When they started sending those funds
They sent $400 million on accident to Gate.io.
Yeah.
Like, there's no win coming out of that for CRO. Like, either we did the stupidest thing in history, or either we're involved on some conspiracy level of trying to make Gate.io look like they have money and they send it back to us. So there's not a lot of in between there. It's like either total idiocy by someone who's got the ability to send that much money.
That's the problem.
Or it's scandal. So there's just not a lot in between that's good about that. It's really indefensible. I mean, obviously CEOs coming out like, well, it's just an accident. Well, that's
pretty big accident.
Pretty big accident.
Kind of. Well, it reminds me of when Blockfolio accidentally sent that Bitcoin somewhere else, right? And it's like those kind of accounting issues are raising all kinds of alarms these days. Yeah.
All right, Frankie, come on up. Frankie, the champion of the trading competition. Frankie.
Shout out to the Candle Mafia. Real quick, I just want to say thank you to everybody who was trading in the competition. We didn't just win it. It was by a landslide. And the one thing I want to bring up is that our P&L was like 1,500%. It was higher than it was. And we actually lost some of our P&L because I think Femex thought there might have been something fishy going on.
Because you were winning so much.
Because we were, it was like 1,500%, and then the person in second had like 380%. But there was no funny business going on. I think they were in the works of getting us the P&L back, but
that's like you know what I'm saying. Like back when I used to spit bars, I used to go to the freestyle clubs, used to spit some bars. People say, "Oh, you planned that one? You wrote that one ahead of time." Thanks, biggest compliment you can give me. Trading competition. Okay, maybe that didn't happen to me. Trading competition. You're up. Maybe it did once. You're up 1,500%. They're like, something fishy going on. You're like, thank you. Appreciate that. That's how good we are. I like it.
That is exactly how it felt. They were like, we thought there might have been some suspicious activity, but they said the devs were going to look into it. But it was a huge compliment, and the competition ended, and we still ended in a complete landslide. So shout out to the Candle Mafia. Super exciting. Super pumped about that, and congrats to everybody on the team. Kind of confusing how the funds are, dispersed, but a lot of people won a lot of money. So super pumped about that. Had somebody turn, I think, $100 into 14 grand.
Holy smokes.
So Candle Mafia out there for real. But guys, we have a bunch of good stuff to look at on the charts today. Obviously, we're getting, things went from Bitcoin taking a nap to Bitcoin, just not going to sleep at all. So, we're going to start off on the higher time frames because we do have some stuff to look at here. Now, on the weekly, we do have a red dot confirmed, right? So over the weekend, that red dot did confirm, which is obviously a little bit more on the bearish side, could have a little bit more downward price action in the future here. Now, the things that are a little bit concerning here is going to be, you guys will know if you watch the stream, often, the higher time frames were starting to print some blood diamonds as we were getting this, this big move to the downside. A lot of them were on, I'm going to put it on regular candles because sometimes they don't pop up on the Heikenashis. But there you go, right? 4-day confirmed blood diamond, 5-day confirmed blood diamond. We were talking about how this could be alarming. 3-day confirmed blood diamond. So these higher time frames are starting to confirm these blood diamonds, which is definitely more of a bearish look. Now, your 6-day on top of all these higher time frame blood diamonds, you are printing a red dot on your 6 days. So if that confirms, just another thing that is another thing that was pointing to the downside here. Oh, there you go. Shout out Paper Planes says that was me, turned 300 into 14K. Sorry, I said 100.
Oh man, that's nothing.
Dang.
That sucks.
Yeah.
That's
But yeah, shout out to Paper Planes. That is
14K,
crazy.
300 to 14K.
300 to 14K. He said he's going to buy a puppy. And I said, if I had control over what he used his gains for, I would say you mandatorily have to buy a puppy. But confirmed red dot on the 6th day, definitely more of a bearish look here. And then again, those higher daily timeframes, having those confirmed blood diamonds is definitely more bearish. Now, a little more locally, we do have a yellow X now confirmed on that 8-hour time frame. Now, this obviously we did get a little pump up, as you can see there, right after that yellow X. Let me get rid of this position, current short position that we're in right now. Pretty big in profit there. But that yellow X, you get that big green candle. We come up and now we're coming back down. This still, in my opinion, could play out. So this could be the thing that potentially brings us down, another step here. And Ben was asking what that local low was, or that, I guess, new low here for the bear market. It was about 15,490. Came right, held support on top of this spider line. But where's price going now, right? That's what everybody wants to know. 8-hour also very close to printing a red dot. So if that yellow X is going to bring us down a lot, it could be on this red dot once it prints and confirms here on the 8-hour. 4-hour as well, starting to work its way down towards that 0 line. This could be the start of another move down as well. So I'd be watching that 4-hour red dot to print. But where are we going here? Let's come down to a lower time frame and kind of zoom in and figure out kind of where the next step would be if we do continue down here, right? So if we do break this white box or back into this white box, we do have this high volume node, which is coming in at about 15,625. We also have a little bit of confluence there with this spider line coming in right underneath it. So if we break into this white box, I would be looking at this level for some support. However, if we do get this move, it could start to get pretty exciting at the number is $15,420. I actually don't think we have a level there. This one's pretty close. This spider line is essentially the major level we do not want to lose, because if we do lose this level, it is probably, we do have a volume gap. If you pull the volume, I'm not going to spend the time to do it here. But if you look at the overall volume from the March 2020 lows till now, we do have a massive volume gap. If you break this spider line between here, and I would say, definitely this bottom of this white box could give you support, but mostly you break this spider line, could be a pretty quick move closer down to about, I would say 14.3, 14.4. Not that much between, that level at about 15,420 and this spider line at about 14.3. We also do have some support at 14.4. So if we break these levels, could be a quick move down to these low, these, again, new lower lows into the 14,000s. And then we're there, right? We talked about this lower range, these lower targets between 14 and 12K for so long, and just trying to figure out if we're going to get there. And if we break that spider line, could be a pretty quick move into those 14,000s. And then there we are. We're in that lower low range. So that's probably going to be the next likely stop. If we do continue downward and break that spider line, I would look at about 14.4, 14.3 for some support. And if you guys want to, we could take a look at the DXY real quick, because the DXY and the SPY as well, SPY with a huge move. We did break this resistance, and we are now coming up to our next level here. Let me switch back to Heikinashi's. You could see, obviously, we did get this big spike up off of this resistance, a support box right here, broke through our major resistance that we've been watching for so long on the Frankie Candles channel and on this channel. But we came up, flipped it to support, and then got a big move up towards this level of resistance here. However, it does look like we could potentially want to cool off a little bit here. Obviously, we are coming up to some resistance. We got a red dot on the 4-hour, looking to print here pretty soon. And if we do, this is something to watch for another potential move down here, guys. Could be putting in a pretty big bearish divergence into this resistance level up here with your higher highs on your price and your lower highs on your momentum waves. But very interesting to get this big move up in the SPY. But again, probably looking like it wants to cool off here pretty soon. And then real quick before I hop off, looking at the DXY, actually fighting this level here which I believe is a we do have a 786 fib level. I have it on another chart. But yeah, DXY absolutely breaking down. This seems to be the decisive breakdown we've been waiting for. As you guys know, we've kind of slipped out of this ascending channel many times, only to slip back in. But you can see we've obviously
it looks like we've topped here.
doesn't
Which
look
is
like
so ironic, right? Like we finally top, and now crypto collapses.
Yeah,
it's like this is the moment, right? Well,
yeah, it's like we were waiting for this for a big pump in Bitcoin, and it just seems like they're not moving perfectly inverse of each other.
Are you watching the total crypto market cap at all? I noticed some stuff over the weekend that it looks like we bounced off of that perfectly, the 2018 total market cap high, which is something I've been keeping my eye on.
that.
Boom.
Well, it was like 800 billion, I think it was. We
Uh,
actually got
let's
up
see.
to 900. I don't know what that might have been the close. I
Yes.
know we got up to 900 billion at the very, very peak of 2017.
Yeah, so yeah,
2018.
peak. So we did come down to about the low for this. Dang, was about 734. But yeah, we could see. Is there enough history here?
There
Yeah,
it
we
is.
did actually tap that 2017 peak.
What does that
almost
say? What does
perfectly.
that say? 2017 peak. What does that say it is?
759.
Yeah, that's
about.
incorrect. So I wonder if that has something to do with the day that Coin Market Cap pulled off the Korean volume. Because what happened at the peak of the market? I was there. What happened at the peak of the market in 2018 for the overall market cap was that overnight, Coin Market Cap, which used to basically be one guy running it in his bedroom back before Binance bought it, is that overnight they pulled all the volume from Korean exchanges from Coin Market Cap, which shot the volume from like 900 billion immediately to 800 billion, and then the market free fell after that. And that was actually what started the overall tumble of that market cycle in market cap. So very interesting to see where they got those numbers compared to that, because I was there. I remember it was 900 billion.
It's probably an like that's looking at one exchange where Coin Market Cap is looking at aggregate.
Yeah, and then you also
what is that pulling, by the way? What is that pulling when you pull up that chart?
What do you mean? So
Coin
this
market
is you
cap
also have the total, and then you have the total 3, the total 2, which includes and excludes different coins. So you'll get different numbers there as well. But we did come up and tap this this 2017 peak almost perfectly.
That's what you shared on Twitter.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
Yeah, and we did slip it a little bit. We are kind of sitting right above it now, so that is a good sign. That yellow X, just hoping that yellow X wasn't foreshadowing a huge move here.
I mean, that already is a huge move.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is
Really?
definitely a that is a sizable move and could be that fully played out at this point. But yeah, guys, very interesting. Again, those next levels to watch about 14.3 to 14.4. If we get this continued move to the downside, going to be some important levels to watch. Again, one more time, shout out to the Candle Mafia. If you guys want to keep an eye on the charts, come hang out at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every weekday. I go live and do 2 hours of TA somehow, but we do it. It's a good time. That's all I got. Back to Ben.
All right. Smash the likes for Frankie Candles.
Let's go.
Got 9,000 people in here, 1,700 likes.
Number one.
Day like today, we gotta get at least 3,000 likes.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, we're about to do Twitter Buzz, but Sam tweeted again.
The one last night?
No, again.
Well, I can't see it.
It's another one letter. So last night.
The A?
Yeah, is the A. It was like 30 minutes ago.
What I think is, I think somebody has access to his Twitter. And guys, the Autism Capital account, that is definitely a combination of Sam and employees for FTX. I've got double, triple confirmation on that. At first, I was told it was only Sam, but there are members of that team that also have access to that account, which is why you kind of seen some conflicting stuff there. So
Yes,
I want to show this tweet real quick, because we can't show Sam's tweet.
Yeah.
I can't show it
on that computer
because I'm blocked.
But for those of you who don't know, he tweeted what in the middle of the night last night, and then with like he was going to do a whole thread, and then 2H, and now recently 3A.
What?
Ha.
Who's saying he's trying to go to Dubai? Well, I'm going to Dubai at the end of the month. If I got a dog the bounty hunter that's got back in, I'll do it. I said I can fit Caroline in my suitcase. I don't know about SPF. His fro might be sticking out. What?
Probably wouldn't be the first time she's been in a suitcase.
Somebody leaked her nudes, by the way. Did you see
that's
that?
what I heard.
I haven't seen them because I don't want to see them.
Yeah.
But she does have a Dr. Evil King, from what I've been told.
Yeah.
DZ, here's a tweet from DZ.
Brings a whole new level, or whole new meaning to daddy issues.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, it's different, doesn't it?
It's way different. Yeah, it does. Mid-December 2018 was the previous market cycle low for Bitcoin. Bear market occurred 363 days after all-time high and 514 days before the next halving. We are now 369 days after all-time high, approximately 525 days before the next halving. Is this the bear market bottom? And I would tend to think we're close to it. I don't think we've exactly hit it yet. This isn't me saying what is the bottom, however. We've yet to hit 80% drawdown. Whether or not this happens will probably hinge more on QE rather than the mining rewards. Drawdown of 80% would be about 13,900. Don't get too excited yet, though. This is a long and boring process. Last bottom to peak cycle took 1,060 days. So you better be in it for the long haul. Success doesn't happen overnight. Guys, this is what we've been telling you guys. It doesn't matter when we bottom. It's still going to be a long time for you at the top. We are looking for the accumulation zone. It may not be the best price, but I think these are still good prices, dollar cost averaging. But we're still needing some of the wreckage to clear away before we actually start making moves. Thoughts about Veritasium? I was killed by the SEC. I don't know a lot about Reggie or Veritasium. I should probably know more than I do know about it. I remember when it was going on. I thought it was a scam, but now we know the SEC is a scam. So what do we do with that? Up just a little bit. There was one right before Grams of Money, a super chat. Is disturbing the Democrats SPAC help win seats with stolen customer funds? Guys, it doesn't matter which party you're in. Stolen customer funds were used to fund the other party with your money. That's what you have to remember. They went to Republicans and Democrats. He was buying political power. Obviously, mostly went to Democrats. We know he's the number 2 donor to Biden. But yeah, very evil, bad stuff. Please connect to my MetaMask for an airdrop. All your Hex has been gone. So I can't really help you with Hex. Longtime subscriber, shout out to the BitSquad. You saved a lot of people in crypto, myself included. FTX is sus. Love watching your videos. Thank you for that super chat.
Oh, yeah.
Lucas.
Shout out. I ran into a BitSquad member at Cheeseburger Bobby's last night.
Recognized you?
Yeah.
Oh,
I was just
man.
standing there waiting for the bird. They're like, TJ, BitBoy Crypto. And I was like, hey, what's up? I just waiting for my my concrete or whatever they call it over there.
Yeah. Did you watch the 10-minute YouTube? No, I've not watched that, BG. I'm sorry. God.
I'm pushing this for like 2
God,
weeks.
Nick DeMonte, why do you not show this to me? When I get done with the chat, I forget by the time I'm done. Cheeseburger Bobby's great cheeseburger place.
Great burger.
I love cheeseburger.
Solid. What do they call it? Custard or whatever? Like,
oh, yeah, the custard.
That ice cream stuff is good.
The good fries. And they got lots of dipping sauces. Love that. You
solid.
Just go
Underrated.
be very liberal with your dipping sauces. Not with your politics, with your dipping sauces.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I mean, unless you want. That's fine, too.
You want to do Twitter Buzz?
Let's do Twitter Buzz. Twitter Buzz. What?
There it is. There it is.
What?
All right. Well, we just did that one. So.
We just did that one. He sucks. Justin, new FTX CEO John Ray was the lawyer who cleaned up the Enron.
Yes. So remember last week we were talking about like who takes this job?
Yeah.
It's the same guy that took over Enron, and I saw that was one of those theories of like, yeah, this new CEO came in and started looking everything over, and then just told him torch this place to the ground. There's way too much here for me to walk us through this.
And they had a failsafe, a back end built in to destroy everything to the ground.
Yeah.
Which is what they did. That's what that hack was about.
Yeah.
It was not about stealing funds.
That's what was crazy to me when all that started going down, is this was clearly a day one. All of this stuff is set up from day one.
100%.
Yeah.
That's what I was just on Yahoo Finance, and I was explaining to them, like, no, we cannot think Sam started off good. That's the narrative people are telling. Sam started off good with great intention, because it's so hard in your mind to reconcile the idea that this man's out there telling you philanthropy, helping people, don't care about money. I drive a Corolla. That's equates to evil. And there was, a lot of people may or may not like Andrew Tate. I think I'm going to see Andrew Tate when I go out to Dubai, by the way. But the idea is he had a video where he said, I never trusted this guy at all. You can't trust someone who says they don't care about money and they're a billionaire. That makes no sense. He said, I like to spend my money. You can tell, I like to spend it. Yeah, that's what someone with money does. They spend it. Yes, at some point you spent everything you can spend. You bought everything you can buy. And yes, we are big proponents of helping people, philanthropy. We've given away tons of used cars to single families this year, single parent families. We are huge on that. Giving back, we pound that into you guys, right? But that's not, you can't operate a business and not care about profits. You can't operate a business that has employees that have to get paid without a business plan, right? You can't give away every single dime that you have. You can't trust people that say that. Look, you see the truth. This is the image that he gave you. You need to be very careful of those types of people in the world. So how many billionaires are like that? There you Jason Hensley, is Coinbase wallet safe? Yeah, I think so. Jeff Bezos plans to give most of his $124 billion net worth to charities that fight climate change and unify humanity.
Oh boy.
Right on time, right?
Yeah, right on cue.
Well, to be fair, right on cue. Somebody's coming by my fever blister. I do have a fever blister, by the way. I do have one. I do not have herpes. Okay, I see some people in the chat getting funny over here. I don't care if they're his peas or herpes. I don't have them. Okay, I do have a little fever blister though. But the idea is that Jeff Bezos already made his money. He already cared about money for years and years and years. Sam Bankman-Fried was on track to become the first trillionaire and made all his money in 2 years, and he was giving it all away. Of course, when you get to a certain level, and look, don't buy into this Jeff Bezos giving his money away either, okay?
Right.
You know what he's going to do? He's going to do the Bill Gates method, where he's going to give all of his money in a way to where he basically is just able to keep it in another nonprofit. That's what these guys do.
Yeah. Well, that's what
It's all a scam.
That's what I was going to say. It's a new thing. We actually, somebody pitched us to do this exact same method. They've got what they call a charitable trust, where you pledge all your money to be given away when you die, but then you go buy an insurance policy to replace it all. So basically, it gives you a way to operate that entire trust tax-free up until the point that you die and accumulate even more wealth. Then when you die, yes, that wealth you accumulated does get donated, but you get it all replaced for your family. And that's what's the guy from REI did the same thing for, same thing. You donated all to climate change, which sounds real good. It's good PR.
Yep.
Generally speaking, it's just tax evasion.
And guys, we see all the super chats. I can't hit all the super chats today. I'm sorry. We couldn't do the show if I hit every single super chat today. So sorry, I missed a couple there. And see, a lot of people talking about this Suka. Guys, I have nothing to do with that. I was at a dinner where some people that are associated with that apparently were. I don't promote that. I didn't even know that's a coin. I see a lot of people putting out these, these crazy campaigns that I'm the secret meeting. No, guys, I'm not promoting that coin. I don't know anything about that coin. I don't even know that it exists. Just so you guys are aware. So I wanted that to be clear because there's some kind of like conspiracy on the internet. Now, I do not support that coin. It may be great. It may be terrible. I don't know anything about it. So I want to be very clear on that. I've seen like 4 chats in here about it. Okay, here we go. 880 billion white from crypto market in 7 days. More pain ahead, obviously. DeFi weekly exchange volume hits 32 billion amid FTX collapse.
Yeah, I heard there was more Ethereum traded on decentralized exchanges in the last 24 hours than centralized exchanges.
Yeah, well,
everybody
on the central exchanges already removed all their money. Yeah. So, and once again, guys, I want you guys to be aware of this. When it comes to the exchange outflows, it's more skewed than ever now. It used to be a good indicator for where the market was. It's not a good indicator of where the market is now. No one trusts centralized exchanges. They pull it off very, very quickly.
That being said, the more time that goes on, the more committed people I feel like we have in it. Like retail, if all of retail is withdrawing to cold storage, you're a lot less likely to panic sell.
What's crazy is 3 billion left exchanges in Bitcoin this week. That one guy had $3.36 billion hidden in his house. You actually knew that guy, right?
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe.
I didn't know him.
Not in a crypto sense.
No, I didn't know him.
Yeah,
it's people I know, a few layers removed.
Well, he lives very close to us.
Yeah.
I mean, I lived in Gainesville, Georgia, where that guy lived, apparently. So very, very, very interesting what happened with that guy. Man, I tell you what.
Well, and that's part of where there's a lot of crazy stuff, like when you get your brain going with all this stuff that's been coming out this weekend. And I had a theory not that long ago when Celsius was getting liquidated. They're like, hey, if I'm BlackRock, if I'm sitting on trillions of dollars and I want to get into Bitcoin and I'm realizing maybe my greatest opportunity for accumulating Bitcoin might have passed. So what's the next best strategy? You take it from the people that have the most. So what if this whole thing was an elaborate way to get a lot of people to donate, and then you basically just took all of their crypto assets through hacks? So you crash Celsius, so now you can buy it at pennies on a dollar. You crash FTX, because now when they're in Chapter 11, people can pick through those assets. They don't have to buy the bad liability. You don't have to buy it all, acquire the whole thing. They can buy just the assets they want at a 90% discount.
Well, I mean, that's something to look at here. There will certainly be people that swoop in, but I don't think this was planned. I don't think this was the plan all along, certainly. So I do think that basically FTX was a really bad actor. Alameda was a really bad actor. A lot of people have been really hurt, and a lot of people were not expecting. If FTX doesn't exist, I wonder where we're at today. I wonder where crypto is at today without FTX. You can certainly make the argument we'd be better off. You could also make the argument they're the ones that really sent the price upwards in a lot of ways. So Very interesting. 3 billion left exchanges. Amid ongoing turmoil over the bankruptcy of major exchange FTX, concerns have heightened among exchange users over the security of funds. You guys can look at some of the Glassnode data, see it's spiked up the most since 2021. Bitcoin reserves may not tell the whole story. The numbers tie in with what appears to be rapidly declining Bitcoin reserves across major trading platforms, but the velocity suggests the true balance tally may be difficult to confirm at present. CryptoQuant tracks a total of 38 exchanges with the reported financial problems. And this is what we're telling you guys. You can't trust these numbers right now, even if they are accurate. They're not an accurate portrayal of what's going on in crypto. People don't have this sudden confidence in Bitcoin going up, so they pull their money off for years to come. That's not what's going on right now. They're panic withdrawing is what people are doing, and for good reason. Bitcoin miners sell most in 5 years. This is interesting here. In today's analysis, BN Crypto looks at the indicators of Bitcoin production costs and Bitcoin miner sell pressure. In addition, we compare them with the recent breakout on the chart of Bitcoin inflows into exchanges and with the Bitcoin network hash rate. So why do miners sell? Well, this will be shocking to you guys. They need money. That's why they sell. 2 main reasons why Bitcoin miners are willing to sell their coins. One hand, there are huge profits when Bitcoin prices are high. Then increased sales by miners signal a major overvaluation of the crypto market and usually occur during and at the end of a long-term bull market. On the other hand, the reason can be selling can be extremely low Bitcoin prices. These make maintaining the Bitcoin mining business on the brink of profitability. So if you remember, we had tons of miners selling off in January of 2021. You guys know I put on the cowboy hat, called F2 pool out. We had a great time with that for a couple of weeks. Yelling the first time I said the F word on the channel. It did not go viral like the second time I did. But the idea was prices were going up. They were pulling profits. Well, now you're on the bottom side where the profits are low, but yet you've got to pull money out to keep your business going. And we know that. We've gone through that this year as well, which we would have pulled more profits at the top because now we're having to pull profits at the bottom to pay people salaries and things like that. Certainly not what we wanted to do. Thank you, Celsius. But this makes sense. So these are the 2 reasons, either extreme profits or either because prices are extremely low. The chart below, we can see that a drop below the upper end of the range causes retail Bitcoin miners with the weakest equipment to capitulate. Currently, this level is around $26,000. In contrast, a drop below the lower end of the range causes mining costs to exceed the profits of even the largest miners with the best equipment and lowest energy prices. Currently, it's around $16,000. So we're right at that break-even point right now.
Interesting.
Selling pressure is the highest it's been in 5 years. Obviously, Bitcoin miners are shedding reserves. So a lot going on with the miners right now. The good news, on the other hand, is that despite the difficulties of Bitcoin miners, the hash rate of the Bitcoin network remains at record high levels. This means that despite the ongoing capitulation of miners and low BTC prices, the largest mining pools are still able to maintain their rigs operationally. Now, this is not necessarily good. We talked about this last week. Kelly pointed this out in charge of our BitLive Academy, that it's not great that that the hash rate is very high, because what this means is that there's not a lot of opportunity for new people to jump in and to be able to get in the mining business. It's slowly but surely turning into a corporate game, and we've known that for a couple of years. So, all right, moving on here. Next story. Billionaire Michael Saylor says Bitcoin will come out on top following the collapse. Hard to argue with this. Michael Saylor was just on Yahoo Finance right before me, so I got to listen. They moved from the great Michael Saylor to the great BitBoy Crypto, who's going to be on InfoWars later today at 2:00. Make sure to go there. See my friend Alex. I wonder, will Alex let me do my Alex impression on his show? It's a good one.
It is good.
It's good.
I'd ask him. I think he'd get a kick out of it.
I think he would too.
Yeah.
I think
He seems like he's got
frogs.
Pretty good sense.
Okay. So the idea is that Michael Saylor, I agree with him on so much stuff, and like I would say, like it would feel good to be a Bitcoin maxi today.
Yeah.
Right. It would feel good to be a Bitcoin maxi, but yet, guys, what's going on these exchanges? They're making paper Bitcoins on the exchanges too. So Bitcoin is not immune to the stuff that's been going on these exchanges. And certainly you got your Peter McCormicks and your financial YouTubers and your pomps who heavily promoted BlockFi, right? You have plenty of other people that Kobe and Up Only, that they were promoting FTX. And I'll be very clear about all this. All these people are catching a lot of flack, okay? guys, nobody freaking knew. These seem like the most confident companies to put your money in and to send your viewers on. People decimated me all last year because we might have done, X, Y, or Z. But yet, even the most confident companies in crypto have now gone collapse. And you got to wonder how much more money has been lost in this FTX debacle than every other rug pull or scam in crypto history combined. And I think what you're going to find is when you're talking about $8 billion of a hole that are missing, some people are saying Enron was a $23 billion collapse. If you count all of the financial liabilities from all of the companies that are underneath this FTX and Alameda banner, do you know what the number is, TJ?
What's that?
$50 billion.
Jeez.
So the things that so many people were tricked, and I don't blame, look, people know me and Pump had our thing, right? People understand that. I don't blame Pump for promoting BlockFi. I don't. What we all need to do is we all need to look ourselves in the mirror and say, how can we prevent this from happening again? How can we prevent ourselves from having confidence in these third parties again to where we all have egg on our face? And I think here's the answer. I think the answer is, look, you just can't be 100% confident in anything. Pump was 100% confident in BlockFi, right? Peter McCormick was as well. Graham Stephan, 100%. Me, Kevin, 100%. Andre Ajit, they're 100% confident in BlockFi. I think that what we have to do is remember, and this is what the message we're going to be galvanizing the entire space around this. It's okay to give people suggestions for things that you think might be okay, but we don't know for sure anything's okay. I think that's really the message that we all got to take from this. And what Michael Saylor is saying is, and what he said this morning is, Bitcoin's okay. And I agree with him. Outside of Bitcoin, what else is okay? I mean, you look at Ethereum as well. I mean, look, I certainly think Ethereum is right up there with Bitcoin. But can you have as much confidence in Ethereum today as you had over the last week before this debacle happened? It's hard to really say. Bitcoin is the only thing that we can have pretty much, in my opinion, 100% confident in this market. And so people like Michael Saylor, they come out way ahead here. And congratulations to Michael Saylor. You look like a genius compared to everybody else. Well, I mean, you still bought Bitcoin at like 45, 47K. So, everything's not perfect, okay?
He's still billions in the red.
Billions in the red. But you know what he said, though I thought was really cool over the weekend?
What?
He said, you know what? I feel like a Bitcoin veteran now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. That's what we were telling you, Mike. We were telling you that last year. We were saying, wait till you've been through a whole cycle, and then you'll really get the gist of what's going on. And I think he's done it now. I think, and he's still here, and he hasn't given up, and he's still got the same message. So, we certainly, we're big supporters of Michael Saylor. I like him. I think he's different than, a lot of people try to portray him to be. So
I think that's key, what you just said. He's different than the status quo, the normal, your typical billionaire, your typical banker. And to me, that's where we went awry with trusting SBF so fast. We trusted traditional finance. We trusted, hey, Sequoia Capital is investing in this. Look at all these it's big money's behind it, institutional money's behind it. Of course it's safe. And that was the big misconception, because guess what? Every bank out there is insolvent.
Yep.
That's how every bank operates.
That's how they all operate.
So when you start getting
reject that.
Right. It's crypto people, it's the CZs, it's the Jesse Powells, it's the people that were here when it was the crypto ethos. We need to keep that mind. It's the mindset, not necessarily the.
Did you listen to Jesse on the Spaces yesterday I was on?
I didn't hear him on the Spaces. I saw his tweet thread.
Yeah, I feel bad about giving him such a hard time over the last couple of years. I feel like he really is one of the good people.
He is.
Crypto,
I feel like he's the one who cares.
He just comes off a little blunt sometimes.
Yeah.
Which, so do I guess. I mean, I read that. I read this tweet that Yahoo Finance is like, it was October 29th. If you don't withdraw your money from FTX, you are low IQ and you deserve what you get.
You're like, ooh, a little harsh. Yeah.
It's a little different today. It didn't mean to be so harsh on people with lots of money. Certainly, our hearts go out to all the people with lots of money. But, okay. Saylor is using testosterone replacement and not soy, which is good. Well, thanks. God for that comment. We support testosterone. Saylor, who joined CNBC's Squawk on the Street last week, said turbulence and market volatility will benefit Bitcoin and a handful of other coins, as it will eliminate thousands of useless cryptos. Look, I believe Cardano, Ethereum, definitely XRP, I believe, is going to get a benefit from this. If you look at the backing that XRP has and the regulatory scrutiny it's under right now, once it comes out on top from this, I think it'll be hate it or love it, banker coin or not. Some people call it that. I think a lot of people are going to realize it's a lot safer than most of the stuff that's out there on the crypto markets. Of course, there's plenty of other projects we do support, but those are obviously the top four that come to mind: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, and XRP. Saylor also warned that the recent developments around FTX will surely attract more regulatory scrutiny. However, he said if regulators move too aggressively in response, it will harm the industry. Everybody needs to take a breath and slow down. I agree with that 100%. Recent price crash has not affected Saylor's optimism around the flagship cryptocurrency. I love that. I love when they say that. Bitcoin will be the winner because Bitcoin is a digital commodity and it's the least controversial of everything. Probably true. But, the idea is I really want people to understand that when it comes to decentralization, there's this narrative that Satoshi, Bitcoin only, blah, blah, blah. I just don't believe that. I believe there is a path forward with decentralization that does use other chains, and other coins are going to be relevant. And I think you can do it in a way that makes sense. You're never going to be able to satisfy the true Bitcoin maximalist because they just hate everything, right? They hate everything that's not Bitcoin. They can't stand it. They're never going to listen to rational thought around it. But I do believe there is a path forward for us in a decentralized world. We're not there yet. Everything in crypto is burned to the ground. It's up to us to build it back. What's a synonym for better that's not better?
And it also starts with a B?
Yeah. Build it back beefier. Sure. Build it back beefier. That's what we want to do. We don't want to build it back better. We want to build it back beefier.
Build it back brilliantly.
Yeah. And certainly somebody said they're locked in BlockFi. Pray for you. Very sorry for everyone who's locked in everything right now. Unfortunately, we escaped this one scot-free because we didn't use BlockFi or FTX. But
they got us with Celsius.
They got us with Celsius. There he got us. That's where we would have moved it probably.
Yeah, exactly.
Shark Tank's Kevin O'Leary says FTX investment went to zero. Needs one thing to happen before touching crypto again. In an interview with CNBC, which big clip from O'Leary going out. Do you see the one?
Yeah. I couldn't be anywhere safer. Yeah.
If there's one play you can trust, it definitely FTX. That's what I mean, guys. Yeah. Look, this is the lesson going forward. We all have to learn that we can't trust anything 100%.
Right. And in his defense, I think it was obviously he meant it. It was a little tongue-in-cheek joke, basically saying since both of his parents are compliance lawyers, he's going to be in line. Well, clearly that didn't pan out. That's a assumption he won't make again.
Nope. Interview with CNBC, former paid spokesperson for FTX says institutional investors like himself won't be engaging in crypto investments until regulations are set to prevent the next FTX meltdown. Guys, this makes me so frustrated when I see stuff like this. This makes me so frustrated. Guys, FTX would not have been regulated in the United States. It was an offshore company. Why? Because Gary Gensler will not do his job. We're not going to have companies come to America until we have the regulation in place. It's not like, it's not that regulations would have prevented this from happening. It's an offshore company. Clarity and strict regulation around what is allowed and what is not allowed in America, that allows companies to operate in America. That's what has to happen first. And this idea that we could have regulated FTX out of the industry, that's not true. What we need, and this is another reason why we need smart regulation in America, because if not, guess what's going to happen? These companies are going to stay offshore. If you want to stifle innovation, if you want to ruin crypto in America, you guys go ahead and rush through this like Michael Saylor said he's afraid is going to happen. And just put regulation, Elizabeth Warren, regulation. Your daughter works for Gary Gensler, regulation. Caroline Ellison's dad, Gary Gensler's boss, regulation. Guys, they're all crooked. So we're doing an event in Dubai at the end of this month, last weekend of the month. Last weekend of the month. Hopefully we're going to be able to get the funding for our bill, and you guys are going to learn. We have the smartest crypto regulation that exists. We have the only idea that works. I'm telling you, we have the only idea out there that works, and everyone in crypto is going to be behind it. Well, when we're finally able to put it out, I know we keep teasing it. Well, guys, it's hard to get $3.6 million in this market. Have you guys figured that out yet? Okay. So Kevin O'Leary said that. Crypto veteran Eric Voorhees addresses U.S. lawmakers, says regulators don't understand decentralized finance. Super chat, considering the connections with FTX, SBF to the SEC, Gary Gensler, and the investment in XRP Ripple is looking pretty good right now. I would tend to agree with that. Nicholas Hyder, will the crypto industry ever reach significant security as hackers always have the advantage as attackers over DApps protocols? Guys, hackers always are going to have the advantage. They're always on the front end for every single thing. So I do believe that in the future, we will have tighter security and protocols around crypto. But right now, it is kind of a hacker's game at this point. But we do know they've never hacked private keys. Remember this. They hack platforms. They attack platforms. They don't attack private keys because they can't. Eric Voorhees thinks the high-profile collapse of FTX further demonstrates the virtues of DeFi. Never has there been a better commercial for decentralized finance than this last week. With DeFi, accounts are transparent, transfers are transparent, trades and even complex financial derivatives, transparent. Balances are proven cryptographically. The code that executes these transactions is open source. Anyone can review it or suggest changes. I call on regulators to pause and consider whether they actually understand DeFi before attempting to regulate it. This is a problem that we solve with our bill. BitBoy Crypto, if you ever become president, can we still call you BitBoy? Guys, look, we all know I've committed to run for vice president when Charles runs for president. So we'll see. Look, if I'm vice president and I become president, that's not good for Charles. So I hope that I don't want to stay out of that situation. Okay. No, I'm probably not ever running for president, but if I do, y'all can call me, Congress, or if I run for Congress, call me Congress Boy Armstrong. Congressman, Congress Boy. Mm-hmm. Guys, I'm a 40-year-old man and they call me the BitBoy. How humiliating is that? Never a better humiliation.
One thing on that Voorhees generally points out that I think is worth noting is DeFi works the way it's supposed to. They pay anytime these collapse happens, they always pay off all their DeFi loans first because those protocols will liquidate them if they don't. So DeFi gets settled in an appropriate, transparent way, while all the rest of it is very opaque, comes down to lawyers and judges and all kinds of craziness. So that's another win for DeFi.
Who will play me on The Big Short 2? Or the movie when this gets made about? I think Colin Farrell is the right actor. If you look, there's a side-by-side with me and Colin Farrell. I think he can pull it off. No, not him as the Penguin. Okay, it's a real picture of him. So FTX collapse exposed weakness in crypto, says Janet Yellen. Obviously, look at this. Another bad haircut person. I mean, look at this. Man, she looks like she's a grandma from the 1830s. I don't know what her problem is. I mean, a lot of grandmas look great today. I mean, there's a lot of, 50 and 60-year-old grandmas on TV. You wouldn't even know. Jennifer Aniston, almost 60 years old, I think, right?
Yeah, that's what they say.
Compare her to Janet Yellen. I'm just saying. Not too great. But look, in the aftermath of the crypto exchange FTX's fall from grace, U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said the industry needs very careful regulation. Why haven't you given it? That's the question. Intentional and willful dereliction of duty, Janet Yellen, Gary Gensler. That's what you need to know. The U.S. government is already, it can't be Jonah Hill. He's playing SBF, guys. Is already looking into regulating the industry under an executive order from Joe Biden. At least it's not deeply integrated with our banking sector, and at this point doesn't pose broader threats to financial stability. How can DeFi thrive when risks from hacks are always a prevalent risk? It's a great question. I think you got to go to look where a lot of these hacks are. A lot of these hacks are on bridges. When we get a little more interoperability, maybe that will be a little bit better. I think that's what some people say. Looking good, Ben. I started the gym last month because you wish you luck. Well, I'm glad you started the gym. Get healthy. That's what it's all about. If you're not around, you're not going to be able to stop the evil people in crypto. Senator Pat Toomey slams Congress's failure to produce crypto regulation in good time. Your Tom Emmers and your Pat Toomeys, like, these are the people we really need to get behind to push the envelope for these regulators. He criticized the slow process of passing U.S. trading regulations. Toomey posited that there had been a sensible, legislatively authorized American regulatory framework for digital assets. The impact of bankruptcy on Americans may have been mitigated. Well, once again, who's he blaming here? Gary Gensler. He's saying exactly what I'm telling you. Guys, no human on earth has ever been more responsible for more fraud and money loss than Gary Gensler. I want to be very clear on that. This man, by his willful dereliction of duties, I guarantee you, I saved more people money by getting them out of FTX than this man has ever done in his entire life. He doesn't want to protect investors. If he did, he would have already done his job, and he continues to ignore it. He will not provide clarity. Why? Because he just wants to get money. The SEC is a speed trap, and that's all he looks at it as. And his hens are coming home to roost. His chickens are coming home to roost. They're all coming home to roost. I will tell you that much. We were working with some with some reporters on some stuff about Gary Gensler. When stuff comes out about this guy, and it already is starting to come out slowly but surely, I don't see how he can hold a job. We need a movement to make it known this man is a criminal and a fraud, and he needs to go 100%. You lost money in Celsius. You lost money in Voyager. You lost money in BlockFi. You lost money in FTX. Gary Gensler is at fault. Gary Gensler is at fault. That's why all these companies have to register offshore, and they're all affected by one another. And FTX and Alameda ultimately caused every single one of these crashes because Gary Gensler does not provide clarity, which is literally his job as SEC commissioner. So you guys clip that, put that on the internet, tag him on that. He needs to see it. All right. So there you go. That's exactly what Pat Toomey is saying right here. Blame Gary Gensler. Ironically, disgraced FTX CEO Bankman-Fried had been working with the U.S. Senate to create crypto regulations. Bipartisan authors put forward legislation that would increase oversight of cryptocurrencies considered to be digital commodities in the U.S. They still plan to move forward with the bill. Guys, moving forward with the bill is not a bad thing. There's only certain language in that SBF was able to impact. This is not final version of the bill. We believe we can still fix this bill along with people who care about crypto. I think we can shape this in the right way that it needs to be shaped. Guys, we're going to have to give some concessions, right? But we don't give them all of DeFi. No better commercial for DeFi than the last 2 weeks. Who's evil? Stock market 2.0, centralized exchanges. That's what we've learned. All right. Hundreds of millions of dollars drained from FTX overnight in unauthorized transfers. Several wallets allegedly belonging to FTX were drained of hundreds of millions of dollars in coins on late Friday night. We talked about this already. Guys, this was the fail-safe. This was the fail-safe to get rid of the data. It was a nightmare evening for anyone with funds on FTX. The hysteria mounted. It's not a nightmare for you if you had funds on FTX. You are never getting them anyways. Guys, it did not matter if these assets got gone. You were never getting these funds anyways. Rumors flew, including one about FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried on a plane to Argentina. I heard all about that. Reuters claimed he had a secret backdoor built into his exchange, $10 billion to his fund, Alameda, which is true. That is true. Let's see here. Do you know how much was moved by white hats versus black hats? White hats, I don't know how they can. Is this like whitelist and blacklist?
No, white hat, black hat, like for hackers. White hat hacker.
How do they know?
I have no idea.
How does Zach know this?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
He just said, looks like. I'd consider it all black hat. I don't think any of it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no hero here. This was the back door that was built to burn everything to the ground.
Well, and it's also how he can move things around without triggering alarms. And there's, a lot of stuff in there.
Multiple former FTX employees confirmed to me they do not recognize these transfers. Guys, not everyone at FTX was in on this, right? It's wider than some people want to paint. They want to paint this gang of four, this Gary Wang, who we got a lot of stuff on Gary Wang will be coming out with in the future. Gary Wang, Caroline, I believe Amy Wu's included in that gang of four, and obviously SBF. Sam Trabaco, obviously, he's someone who skirted out of this because he quit a couple months ago. He is very heavily involved and knew every single thing that was going on. But it goes further than that. You got your Dan Friedbergs, right? And you have all the attorneys that were under him. You got all the people that were in Gary Wang's purview. You got people that were involved with Solana. They're up involved in this. But every person you talk to isn't going to know this happened. So many FTX employees have messaged me over the last 24 hours, by the way.
Yeah.
Really getting a good picture of what was going on there and who knew what.
I want to know, like Brett Harrison, he quit the day before that giant transfer.
Yeah, and he quit. He was fired. I'm telling you, Brett Harrison was fired. He was fired the day after we released the federal bit license news that ultimately came through a funnel of me to a mutual friend to Brett Harrison to WetGen, who deleted his account over the weekend. So when you look at that, Brett Harrison was heavily involved in us getting out front of this story. There's a reason we are getting all kinds of pub. We were out in front of this before anybody else. It was Brett Harrison's fault.
Yeah.
So
I'm just wondering if that was the final straw, like transferring billions directly from FTX to Alameda, if he knew about it and was like, look, I'm getting out of here before that happens. Because it was the day before it happened. It was pretty interesting.
So, and that was the day he followed me on Twitter.
Yeah.
Was the day of that large.
So that's kind of what I'm
so
thinking. He's thinking, okay,
I wish Brett would send me I messaged him on Twitter. I wish he would respond and just say that he either is a bad guy or he's not.
Yeah.
You know, just tell me you're not a bad guy, Brett.
Yeah.
I've thrown you under the bus a few times, but you know what? I don't know. I'm willing to listen to you, maybe.
He needs a tell-all. We need to hear it.
Yeah. Well, the tell-all's coming. Tell-all's coming. So many people are wanting to know what happened. They're wanting to know how we knew all of this. And I've explained many times how we knew it all.
Oh, yeah.
But
this is so crazy. I keep forgetting. I forgot about this part. Yeah. Go ahead.
FTX hacker identity discovered by Kraken exchange team.
Some of the funds they sent to Kraken.
Right, because it didn't matter where they sent the funds. It was not about the funds. It was about burning the data on the back end.
Right, getting rid of everything that was FTX.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, ICP is not bad. I see people saying that. If you think ICP is bad, it's because of FTX. That's the only reason you think it's bad. Satoshi Stacker explained the FTX hacker just funded his TRX wallet from Kraken. Yeah, so it doesn't matter where all this money went to. That's not the story here. The story is the back end. And we know this because Dan Freeberg, Ultimate Bet, Poker Scandal, this is the exact same model they used before. Burn everything to the ground, make a scapegoat, escape unharmed. That's why SBF is going to be the sole focus of all this. People are saying, oh, his SBF's political donations are going to keep him out of prison. That is not true, guys. Let me tell you. You want to talk about somebody who's in line for some Epsteining? Is SBF. This guy is the fall guy. He is the fall guy for the entire operation. Yeah. He is not going to get unscathed by this, right? He's the one that your Gary Wangs and your Dan Friedbergs are going to sell up the river 100%. So look.
Well, and they've already got the MO. They're talking about wire fraud, which is the #1 way they nail people, which is a 20-year sentence. The same thing they gave the Gainesville guy, 20 years for wire fraud is what he technically pleaded guilty for.
Wire fraud is money laundering, basically.
Right. Basically, yeah. And so
FTX only had $900 million versus $9 billion in debt. There you go. Bahamas police launch investigations at FTX conduct looking for criminal misconduct.
Yeah, they faked that whole thing, from the government that was saying that they had to allow Bohemian withdrawals or whatever. That was fake.
That's all. Yahoo Finance asked me about that this morning. I had to tell them that I didn't think that was true. Yeah. Yes, the poker dude. That is correct. Tom Dwan tweeted today, by the way. Tom Dwan was like, I played poker with these people. Why didn't no one tell me that Dan Friedberg from the worst poker scandal in history was the lawyer for SBF? Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Will you put money on SBF's books for commissary when he's locked up? I will. If he'll let me come see him and talk to him. I want to see him face to face. This man owes me such an apology. Do you remember the stuff he said about me? Mm-hmm. My gosh, it's all we were proven 100% right. Sam, I deserve an apology just from a human. Are you human? I don't know. If you are human. Now, I'll tell you this, TJ. Now, you don't know this. But I talked to some folks over the weekend that basically when people are like, why was the whistle not blown on this? Yada, yada, yada. Well, it's because I think you'll be shocked. There are so many people, so many projects out there that have been basically blackmailed, either bought off by sponsorships. Not that everybody they sponsor was bad. Okay. They bought off with sponsorships that were way above what they should have been, or they blackmailed people and projects as well because they knew some bad stuff they had done in their past and basically exposed that to them. That's why a lot of this stuff didn't come out. Apparently, I'm one of the only people that they did not try to sponsor. I'm one of the only people that they never reached out to and tried to get on board with FTX, which is kind of interesting, right? Because I'm the largest American YouTuber. At one time, we were the largest in the entire world, which I believe we will be again. But why? Ironically, I think it's because I made so much fun of Sam's haircut. I do believe that me making fun of Sam's bad haircut is actually what kept us totally out of the loop from all of this, which is, ultimately the #1 thing I like to make fun of with Sam is his haircut. So very ironic, I think, that you try to get me not to make fun of his haircut, and the people in this chat, are 50-50 undecided, I believe, on whether or not I should be making fun of his haircut. But this is what actually exposed everything to light.
There you go.
So there you go. One comb, Doritos, and a KO. I don't know what a Kai jelly is. Crypto.com says $400 million to the wrong address. We actually already talked about this at the beginning of the show. They sent it to Gate.io. Kraken, Coinbase, and Gate.io published proof of reserves.
Yeah, I'm sure Gate did it. Yeah, over the weekend. Wow.
That's bad.
Careful, guys. Careful with Gabe.
Be careful. Be careful. All right. Let's see. Huobi reports on asset transparency, total 3.5 billion.
Nice.
Here we go. Chainlink on how it's proof of.
So
I don't know why this has to do with crypto.com. How it's proof of reserve service. Oh, proof of reserve. Provides transparency user demands. So Chainlink is the answer to providing those kinds of audits. XRP Army, we're going to be very brief today. Make sure you throw the X up if you are in the XRP Army. Ripple's XRP and Stellar Lumens is the only crypto that is part of ISO 20022 and can work with CBDCs. This is a report. We talked a lot about these ISO 20022 coins and why we are bullish on the price of a lot of those. But this article is saying that these are the only two for sure. Says the explosion of crypto into the mainstream, regulators have been trying to see which digital asset will more likely fall in line with their view of interoperability. Hence, they're trying to incorporate ISO 20022 crypto assets because they suit the regulators' development of a CBDC. This is from Wrath of Gunneman. Is that Larry David? Okay, but this is just confusing. Like, make up your mind. At this point, Ripple's XRP is the only crypto player officially part of the ISO 20022 financial industry messaging scheme. Another compatible and compliant crypto is Stellar Lumens. So basically what this is a new messaging standard for how banks will communicate in the future. And they're looking for projects that are compatible to fit that. Just because they are compatible, it does not guarantee that they are going to be included. This guy's opinion, it's basically only Stellar, only XLM, and XRP, or other people that will, spread this out to about 10 different coins. There's kind of an official list of 5 that people think are kind of for sure in. That would be, I can never remember if it's HBAR or Algorand. One of them is supposedly in. One of them is like compatible, but not in the list of 5.
QNT.
QNT, XRP, XLM, and then XDC.
I think it's Algo.
It's HBAR. The H Barbarians. We love the H Barbarians on the channel. We named the whole community the H Barbarians. We love the H Barbarians. So there we go. BitBoy is not the biggest crypto influencer. There was a report done on who is the largest crypto influencer, and even though we are not technically the #1 channel on YouTube anymore, we do have the largest reach of anybody in crypto, just so you guys know. There was a report put out. Crypto 101 was talking about it on one of their things. But anyways, all right, guys. That is all that we got for today. You have some Q&A, maybe a couple?
I didn't grab any Q&A.
Cardano wallets accelerate. Quick hits, 30,000 in a week. Binance US curve and bidding war for BlockFi credit card companies. Guys, the BlockFi credit card people are screwed because you've got to pay off money into something that you're not getting money out of. I will tell you this. I would not pay a dime in a bill. I'm different than a lot of y'all. I don't care about a freaking credit score. I don't give a lick about a credit score. I'll tell you that much. Somebody screws me and I don't feel like I owe them money, I'm not paying them. I'm sorry. So BlockFi, you as a company totally screwed me. Guess what? I'm not giving you money, period. I'm never sending another dollar in. That's what I said to Celsius. Celsius asked me for more money to pay off my loan. You think I'm an idiot? Then I'm sending you money? Not a chance. So I would see how this plays out before I would ever send them a dollar. Some of y'all are real up and antsy about your credit score, so whatever. It might hurt your credit score if you don't do it. Maybe financial advice. We're not financial advice. I don't even know, but I can't give it to you. 4 million Lido tokens transferred to exchanges sparks fear. Can see why people would be concerned about that. Serum forked by developers after FTX hack. Guys, Serum is a coin that was pretty much built only for liquidity for Solana and FTX. So I would stay away from Serum. We were bullish on Serum. We liked it. Once again, we bought into the entire FTX Ponzi empire. That was our fault for not understanding that, just like nobody else knew what was going on. But as soon as we found out, we will say that obviously we blew the whistle on it. No fear for repercussions from the bad-haired billionaire. Are you saying you should take away your MCO.com? Are you saying that you should? I don't know what that means. Are you saying I think you should take your money off of crypto.com? I believe no one should keep money on a centralized exchange right now. That's a blanket statement. Has nothing to do with them personally. No one should keep money on a centralized exchange right now. Solana validators on stake over 31 million SOL tokens amid price rout. Guys, Solana it's got a chance in the future to come back, but it's hard to see it surviving this. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would agree.
I mean, and ever becoming once again a top 10 coin. It's hard. It's possible. It's good people building on Solana. Good people that work at Solana. There's good FTs on Solana. Magic Eden, I don't know if they're good or bad, but certainly, they've got a lot of people. I just don't know enough to say whether they're good or bad, but, it's something built on Solana as well. But I would just be very skeptical at this point with as much bad press as this is going to get, as much of this price is going to get destroyed. Certainly could be a good entry point if the prices go back up. Maybe people would look back and say it'd be a good opportunity. I just don't see Solana ever getting back in the Ethereum competitor niche. I don't see any way. You have anything or no?
No, just smash the likes on the way out, guys. Really appreciate it. And after the Twitch after show will be at 1:15.
Blockchain Basement, 1:15. Make sure to hit up on Twitch.
There you go.
That's all we got. Be blessed.
BitBoy out.